Okay, to remove the spark plugs on a 2007 Toyota Tacoma or anyone with a similar engine, you'll need just a handful of tools, some sort of wrench, either electric or hand wrench, a long extension, or a spark plug socket with a long enough extension, which I have, but I just prefer to do it like this. It maneuvers a little bit easier. You'll need your new spark plugs, a 12mm socket, and a 10mm socket. Silicone if you choose, and anti-seize if you choose. Okay, the reason that a shop will charge so much for this job is because of the need to remove the intake manifold, which is what it says, I believe, in most manuals. However, you can do it without removing that intake manifold, and it's not even difficult. So you have your 3 coils here. You can see 1, 2, 3 down there. They're held in by 10mm bolts each and 3 connectors, 1 on each. All that you'll have to do in order to get all of these out without actually needing to remove, you won't even need pliers, but sometimes pliers make it easier to get those connectors off. So we'll go ahead and remove this bracket. All you have to do is remove the top bolt and loosen the bottom bolt so you can slide it out of the way in this hose, and those will all be accessible. This side will take about 10 minutes and the other side will take about 5. Okay, so here we'll take our 12mm socket and we will loosen this bolt and take it all the way out. Then with just a few turns on the bottom bolt, it becomes loose enough to move out of the way. So, okay, here's that bracket. With just a few turns of the bottom bolt, it becomes loose enough to move out of the way. That's all you need. We will go ahead and remove that hose by pinching. And again, it doesn't have to be super out of the way, but we'll just tuck it up out of the way for now. Now we'll loosen all 3 of those 10mm because it's easier to just do all 3 at a time. That way you're not, doing one process, all 3 at a time. Okay, first thing is to remove those connectors. You got to push down on that clip and pull up. Okay, so you push down on that connector and it should come off. We'll do the same for all 3. Okay, now that we've got all 3 connectors loose, we'll put our 10mm socket on and remove all 3 of those bolts. Okay, with all 3 of those out of the way, we will take our silicone spray and spray all 3 of our coils. Okay, now that we've got all 3 broken loose, I'm just going to use this gun to pull them out quicker. There's the old spark plugs. So there's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. Okay, now that we've got our new spark plugs here, we'll take some anti-seize. You don't need much. And we'll just put a little bit on each spark plug. And you always want to work on the engine while you always want to work on spark plugs while the engine is cold, so you don't strip them out. Always start it by hand, and then finish it off with the gun. All 3, just a little bit of anti-seize. Start it by hand so it doesn't cross thread. And finish with the gun. One. Okay, now we'll take all 3 coils, which are freshly lubricated, and we'll slide 1 in each socket. We'll go ahead and start those screws in by hand. Okay, we'll use the gun to tighten down all 3 of these. Then we'll put the connectors on them, put this bracket back in place as well as that hose, and we'll meet you on the other side. All right, that hose goes right back on. We'll put this bolt in on that bracket. That holds everything steady. And we'll tighten those down with the wrench. Good there. Okay, now on this side it's pretty much the same except easier. The air filter disconnects from here. So it covers right here. All you gotta do is take off the air filter and then you've got all three right here exposed. So we'll give them a little bit of spray with this silicone to keep those clean, make them easier to come off. Okay, we'll go ahead and disconnect these three connectors. The 3 bolts, comes off, lubricates, takes out, just like the other side. Everything's the same except for easier. So we'll go ahead and do that. And that's how you change the spark plugs on a 2007 Toyota Tacoma. Okay, we got those coils out and siliconed up. Now we'll pull out these 3 spark plugs that remain. 1, 2, 3. Okay, same thing. We will put anti-seize on each one. Start it by hand. Good. Just a touch. Okay, we'll tighten each one up. And that's good to go. We'll put those coils back on with their clips. Okay, we'll tighten each bolt down. And we'll return that air filter cover and the air filter back in its spot. Goes right here. Like so. That's all there is to it. Tighten that back down and you're done.